were also in the press briefing room and asked a couple questions of Carolyn Levitt. And I want to play the last question you asked because I thought, and you thought too, it was a very moving answer from the White House press secretary. Play cut 3 and I'll get you your reaction.
And to end on a lighter note, Caroline, sure. I'd love to know what your favorite memory of Charlie is.
Sure. Charlie was a great guy, and he was, of course, a very influential person in the conservative movement, in the MAGA movement. He was so helpful to the president during the campaign and to all of us who worked on that campaign, that historic campaign. I myself had many great memories going on Charlie's amazing podcast and his show. He was always willing to text people with words of encouragement. In fact, my last text exchange with him was the day before he died, and he was asking for my husband and I's address to send a children's book to our son. And I think that just speaks to the type of person that he was. And I know so many of us here at the White House are going to miss him very much.
Yeah, it's a really interesting little peek behind the curtains to the guy he actually was. Monica, what did you think about the press secretary's response to that?
It was definitely an amazing opportunity to be in the new media seat today on behalf of Charlie, on behalf of Turning Point, on behalf of Frontlines. Definitely a really cool experience, and I'm so grateful that I got to ask the questions that were kind of burning questions for most of us here, especially as it concerns Antifa and violence surrounding Antifa. We know the president's designating Antifa as a domestic terror organization. Excuse me. We would love to know what more that he would do to just ensure this kind of violence never happens again. And then I wanted to make it personal and end on a lighter note because I know Caroline was a good friend of his, and he definitely supported Caroline through her congressional campaign. And I just was out of curiosity, wanted to know, what was that relationship like behind closed doors that maybe not all of us get to see every day. And I wasn't expecting such a personal answer. So
Mm.
when she gave that really sweet message of, giving us a little glimpse into maybe their relationship, I was a little shocked. I was a little surprised because I didn't know that they texted like that. I didn't know that, he was going to send them a book for their child. It just goes to show that Charlie loves kids. He loves the American family and the idea of, people, starting their own family. So it really touched my heart. And just trying to bring closure to something that's just been so heavy for all of us, and just end things on a lighter note. And I'm really glad that Caroline got to share that with us. It was very, very special.
Yeah, it totally was. You mentioned a couple of the other things you asked, and we will get to those things. I think those are very important. Maybe we'll play them on the show tomorrow. But yeah, just in remembrance of Charlie, with all of the things that were going on the last couple of days, it's been great to hear your firsthand experience of the whole process, and really, really appreciate you, Monica, for taking the time and sharing with us all of those little sneak peeks behind the curtains. Really, really, really fascinating to talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe Bob.